How do you design settlements where the streets and history generate stories on demand? Let's dive in and discover how together. Welcome back to Worlds Within. In this episode, we'll explore why settlements matter for immersion and play, and how to draft one that generates story. We'll then walk through my settlement template, step by step, to show how it can guide your writing, and then apply it to Catalima City, the corrupt heart of the Cataliman Empire in my world. Before we begin sketching streets or naming taverns, we need to understand why settlements matter. There are places where stories can thrive. Every alley, plaza, and district should feel like it belongs to a culture that evolved there. As we discussed in episode 2, geography is destiny. Where a settlement rises shapes everything about it. A city also isn't one voice, much like we discussed in episode 4. It's a chorus. Nobles, merchants, priests, and thieves, they all pull it in different directions. And those tensions create drama. When you design a settlement, ask who disagrees here, who holds power, and who wants to take it. Answering this will give you numerous drivers and will help define the history of the settlement. A city's history is lived, and the past isn't dead. It's in the stories, festivals, and grudges that still simmer. If your city was burned in a war 2 centuries ago, that scar should echo in the way citizens live. How was the city founded? What major events have taken place here? Answering these questions will guide you to understand how the culture interacts and works, and will help determine which direction story can be pulled in, ways that are meaningful to readers and players. Finally, create narrative hooks, much like the other templates. A city should invite action. These are the sparks that turn a backdrop into a stage, and they're built upon each of the principles above. When you build with these principles, you're creating an engine that keeps generating scenes long after somebody's put the book down. Now that we understand the impact of settlements, let's talk about how to build one. I use this settlement template as a blueprint. This structure keeps my ideas organized and consistent, while leaving room for creativity. I'll walk through each section so you have a better idea of how to use it, and hopefully it will help you too. Start with the introduction. This is the foundation of your settlement. Give us a good first impression. Answer questions like where the settlement's located, what senses it evokes, and why it exists. Also mention the geography. Is the city clinging to cliffs, sprawling across a river, or buried in the desert sands? Keep this section tight, one paragraph that sets the tone and stakes and grabs the attention of the reader or player. Next, define the government. Who holds power? Is it a monarch? Is it a guild syndicate? How are laws enforced? And what happens when they're broken? If religion or magic governs a city, show how that authority works. Otherwise, keep faith in arcane traditions in society and culture. Include military presence and other influences like criminal networks, merchant guilds, or secret orders. Ask yourself what happens when someone challenges this system. That question alone can create a story for a campaign or a novel. Then move on to society and culture. This section describes the texture of daily life. What do people believe in? How do they celebrate? And what role magic plays in their culture? Include art, leisure, and even transportation, because how people move around a place changes how they live. Show contradictions such as opulence versus poverty. These tensions make a settlement believable and offer your players and readers dynamic interaction. Work and commerce comes next. Think of it as the scaffolding that holds the city together. What industries keep it running? Which guilds dominate trade? Are there black markets and thieves guilds lurking in the shadows? If magic fuels industry, explain how that works. And commerce creates stakes for adventure and are ready-made plot hooks for your table to explore. Next, begin defining your places of interest. These are the landmarks that make your settlement memorable. Temples, towers, arenas, and academies, each should feel like a stage where the drama can unfold. Give them personality. Answer what a location's purpose is. What happens here when things go wrong? Who controls it, or who wants to? These details turn locations into characters that shape the backdrop of your scenes. And the last section is your settlement's history. This is a thread that ties everything together. Write history as a living story. You can even divide history by ages if you want. But always show how the past influences the present. Think of history as the roots beneath the streets, hidden, but shaping everything above. When you use this template, you're building a framework where every choice reinforces the others. As always, jump around between various sections, but treat each section as a piece of architecture that supports the whole. In the end, you'll create a settlement that feels intentional and ready for play. Now let's see the template in action. I'll read a few excerpts from Catalima City and explain how these sections reflect the design principles and follow the guide that we've discussed. Here's the government of Catalima City. The Giovanni dynasty, under the ruthless rule of Emperor Carlo Giovanni IV, commands from the imposing Imperatoris Palatium. This grand palace, perched on the northwest plateau above the Forum, surveys the ancient Cittadelcata district. Many districts, under the control of aristocratic dons and donnas, govern their territories with ruthless efficiency, ensuring their dominion remains unchallenged. Meanwhile, the city guard, far from being a unified force, acts as mere pawns of the dons, operating more like a private security force than a cohesive organization for the protection of citizens. This section shows hierarchy, law enforcement, and competing influences. It answers who holds power and how law is enforced, and what happens when systems fail. Here are a few places of interest for your consideration. The Serpenti Porte in the Corretane district serves as the western gateway to the city, its serpentine arches a symbol of the treacherous paths that lie within. In the Eliana Reggio district, foreign embassies rise like shadowy fortresses, where whispered secrets and political machinations echo through dimly lit halls. The northern Oliva Cortile district is home to the foreboding Temple of Thanek, dedicated to the god of death. The crypts of this sinister sanctuary, known for its macabre Cataliman funerary rites, teems with restless spirits and ghastly abominations. These locations have purpose, personality, and stakes. Each one could anchor a scene or an entire adventure on their own. That's the settlement template in practice. Each section builds on the others, creating a city that feels alive and brims with story. Let me know what you think about Catalima City in the comments. If this helped you design stronger settlements, subscribe and share the channel. Patrons can download the full settlement template and design guide on Patreon, and also gain tiered access to the Discord community for feedback and collaboration. Your next step? Draft one settlement using the template. Start with tone, then let the rest grow from there. Next time, we'll explore factions and power plays to show how alliances and rivalries shape the stories your players can't resist. Let's build worlds together.